Hey guys, it's Anthony Bandiero here, attorney and senior legal instructor for Blue to Gold Law Enforcement Training, bringing you to the Roadside Chat. Now, this one comes from an officer in Tennessee, and basically, in essence, the question is, how can I articulate constructive possession of a firearm in a vehicle? Now, the background, basically the essence of it is that there's a passenger in a vehicle, there's a firearm found underneath the seat right in front of that passenger. And the officer is looking for advice about how do you articulate that, that they can access that weapon, but more broadly, that they can be convicted for constructive possession. Now, back up here. Before we dive into this, I just want to share a couple legal concepts. Number one, that you have to know this. Mere presence around contraband is not enough to prove constructive possession, right? So what I mean by that is, how many times have you, your partners and so forth, had four people in a car, there's a gun in the center console, and you're like, who's owning up for the gun, right? Let's say they're felons or whatever. Who's owning the gun? And nobody wants to speak, and you're like, okay, you're all going down. Well, that may be okay. And, I have to see the circumstances. You may have probable cause. It's not the probable cause that we have a problem with, right? It's not the ride to jail. It's the conviction, right? It's the conviction. If that's all you have, if I'm the right rear passenger and you find the gun in the center console and you take me to jail, okay, fine. Okay, I'm not going to, that's not what we're here for. How are you going to convict me for constructive possession if that's all the facts that you have? Because I guarantee in your state, you have some requirement that essentially says you have to prove, in order to convict this person for constructive possession of a firearm, let's say, or drugs or stolen property, you have to prove that I intentionally wanted to exercise dominion and control over that contraband, right? If I'm simply in a vehicle, is that enough? Another way of looking at this is, if you are in my vehicle, you're my passenger, there is I'm a gun guy. There's a sawed-off shotgun in the back of in the trunk. It's unregistered, didn't pay my ATF tax stamp, okay? And we get pulled over, and somehow the cops find that sawed-off shotgun in the trunk, but you knew nothing about it. Is that enough to convict you? Or there is a handgun, a stolen handgun in the glove compartment right in front of you. You didn't know anything about it, but it is within your lunge area. Is that enough to convict you? The answer is no. Maybe you take the ride, but you're going to beat the rap. So how do you prove these things? Circumstantial evidence. That's how you prove it. Because there's not going to be a lot of direct evidence. I mean, maybe they'll cop to it and say, yeah, I borrowed it from a buddy, right? But more often than not, they're going to say, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not my gun. So how do you prove it? Circumstantial evidence. And here are the things I want to see. I call it NERDS. Okay, that's my acronym for it. I'm sure you can come up with something way better, and you let me know. But that's what I have for you. NERDS. Number one is abnormal nervousness. Is the occupant abnormally nervous? Why is that important? Because if they're not in on it, why should they be nervous? If I'm in a car and there's contraband in there, and I have no idea there's contraband in it, and we get pulled over for speeding, I'm not nervous. I'm good. I wear my seatbelt, whatever it is, right? So I want to hear why you believe the person is abnormally nervous. That helps to prove guilty mind, right? Evasiveness. The passenger flees from the vehicle. Okay, why are you fleeing from the vehicle? Why? Because you know that there's something in there. Evasiveness. Also, just their mannerisms, the way that they're acting, they're being highly evasive and avoiding and so forth. R. Abnormal reactions. Abnormal reactions, right? What are they doing that is inconsistent with innocence? Smoking a lot during the traffic stop, cigarettes are $1 a piece, right? What are they doing, right? D is for deception. Deception is highly evidentiary, right? It has high evidentiary value. People that are innocent should not be lying to you, should not be trying to deceive you. So the ums and the ahs and the repeating your question, and all the, of course, add that with the nervousness, the sweating and so forth, right? If I'm a passenger in a vehicle, I'm not going to be deceptive to you. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, what do I have to gain from that, right? And then finally, S is for specifics. When I say specifics, I mean specifics about them. The person says it's not my gun, but yet they're on paper for firearm violations. It's not my gun, but they have previous charges for gun violations, right? Specifics about them, also specific about the environment, high crime area where gun crimes are associated. Specifics about them include gang activity, or they just, if it's narcotics, they just came from a known drug house. It's not my drugs, but yet all these things are in play. That's some of the things that how you prove, but you got to get more than just being around it. How many cops, including myself when I was a cop, have arrested people for constructive possession and all I had was them being near it and nothing, I didn't articulate anything else. Guys, that case ain't going anywhere, okay? I'd be very surprised if that's all you had and you didn't put anything on there about pending further investigation and so forth. If that's all you have and you submitted your case, the prosecutor is most likely not even going to take that case. They're going to hit dismiss because they can't prove it. Hope it helps. It's a great question. Absolutely love it. Excellent question. Comes up all the time. And you can see I'm passionate about it because it's the key is to articulate. The facts are probably there. The evidence is probably there, but you got to articulate it. That's what I got for you, my friends. Until next time, okay? I want you guys to please hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share with your friends, give a comment, help me build up an audience for this class so that I'm teaching good practice, good best practices for cops. All right. Until next time, my friends, stay safe and keep up doing that great job out there.
When it comes to law enforcement training, we are the gold standard. Visit bluetogold.com or call 888-579-7796 to learn more about our training, books, and free webinars. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel.